In the early 2000s, Hyundai didn't really have a real player in the game. Of course, they had cars like the Tiburon, which were supposed to be a bit sporty and a bit more fun, but they never really were able to keep up with a lot of the competition. Mainly for one strong point. The Tiburon was a front-wheel drive car with the biggest engine option being a 3.5-liter V6, while all of its rivals were around 300 to start and were already rear-wheel drive, a much better platform for most enthusiasts. However, in 2008, Hyundai decided to flip the switch and created their first real sports car, the Hyundai Genesis Coupe, which debuted alongside the Hyundai Genesis sedan, which is now the entire Genesis brand. When this new model debuted, they offered a 2-liter turbo and a 3.8-liter V6 that both made pretty good power for when they were new, but they very quickly ended up being carried away when vehicles like Ford's Mustang, the Camaro from Chevy, and other vehicles started really upping the ante in their power games, such as when Infiniti created the IPL version of the G37. Hyundai created what they called the track models, but it wasn't until 2013, with the first year of the BK2 generation, that the R-Spec debuted. And as the car kept progressing up until its untimely death in 2016, the R-Spec was pretty much the closest to a track pack you could buy for these cars. So a couple months back, as you could remember, I unfortunately lost my 2014 Mustang GT, Kermit, which had been with me for almost 2 years. I'd finally fixed everything, and I actually had bought suspension parts and everything that I was going to throw on it to make it handle better. But as a result of hitting some standing water during a flash downpour, Kermit was no more. After doing quite a bit of searching for about a month and a half to find the replacement, I actually found this. This is my new to me 2015 Hyundai Genesis Coupe 3.8 R-Spec, meaning this is the most track-oriented version of this car ever built. Now, the R-Spec does give you some pretty cool extras as opposed to what you get on versions like the Ultimate or the Base, where the R-Spec actually gives you a limited slip differential, a different gear ratio, and Brembos. So this car actually comes, in addition to that, with upgraded front camber bolts, so you're able to actually get a bit more camber out of the front wheels, helping you turn and steer a bit better when you're going hard around the racetrack. Now that's a pretty potent combination right out the gate, but of course I can't keep anything stock. And thankfully I actually didn't have to do the mods this time. This one actually came already on a set of BC Racing coilovers, and it already has a couple other mods as well. It has a Weapon R cold air intake, it's got an upgraded short throw shifter, and it's got a CNT Racing V3 catback, which makes it honestly one of the best sounding V6s I've ever heard. I'll give you a list. So the car does need a little bit of work. The Hyundai badge is missing from the steering wheel, and there is a tiny hole right there on the passenger seat. But on the inside, you get these really nicely bolstered R-Spec specific seats, and the only option other than these was a set of red seats, which maybe in the future I'll have to do, because red interior on a white car is kind of perfect in my opinion. You can also see here the short shifter, which is very good, very responsive. While I haven't gotten to clean under the hood, you can see it's been pretty well maintained, and you can see right here this is the intake, and it sounds really good under heavy acceleration. Hopefully this car will stay around a long time, because even though I've only now had it for about a week, I am enjoying it. It's a 3.8 liter, like I said, meaning about 350 horsepower, if there hasn't been any engine mods or tune or anything done, which I haven't gotten to dyno it to really get an idea. And honestly, it it may not be the fastest thing, but it is actually as fast in the quarter mile stock for stock as my old Mustang was, even though it's down almost 100 horsepower. Ultimately, the way I can describe this car, this is what I would have bought if I hadn't had to have bought a Mustang. It's pretty much one level up from my old Z4. It's a limited slip diff instead of an open diff like you got in that. It's about 120 horsepower more than the Z4 was, and it weighs only a tiny bit more at about 3,300 pounds. This is an incredible deal for a sports car, considering that I got this for actually under $19,000. And it competed with cars like the FRS, the V6 Camaro, the EcoBoost Mustang. And honestly, I really wish this thing had sold better. Maybe we would have gotten a BK3 generation. But I'm going to end this video here. This is the new car on the channel. My girlfriend still does have her Mark V Supra, and hopefully this thing will be getting some track time at autocross, hopefully get it out to the drag strip, and who knows, maybe I'll even drift this. But I'm gonna see exactly what I can do enjoying this car as much as I can. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. But till then, bye-bye.